Hi, I'm Renee from Modern Homemakers, and today we're going to make gluten-free oatmeal cookies. Yum! Hi, I'm Renee, and today we're going to make gluten-vegan oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and I've got a couple sticks of vegan margarine, and it's already softened, so I took that out and just set it on the countertop for an hour so it would be soft. Instead of using, we've got a lot of ingredients that we're using. We're going to use some organic sugar, organic brown sugar, xanthan gum, vanilla, baking soda, baking powder. We've got some chocolate chips, vegan chocolate chips. Instead of eggs, we're going to use flax meal, and we're going to use some gluten-free flour and gluten-free oats. And ready to get started. One of the first things I want to do, instead of using eggs, we're going to use flax meal. This works great as a binder. So 1 tablespoon of flax meal and 3 tablespoons of water equals 1 egg. So I need 2 eggs for this recipe, so I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of flax meal and 6 tablespoons of water. And I just want to get that started first so that it can kind of, thickens. So we'll just kind of stir it up and then let this sit here. Okay, so I've got this, my vegan margarine is softened. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of canola oil. I found that this recipe, when I've done it before, I just thought it needed a little bit more moisture, so I'm going to add that 1/4 cup of canola oil, a cup of brown sugar, and a cup of regular sugar. Now I use the organic. You could use sugar in the raw, you could use turbinado, but some kind of a good quality sugar. And then we're going to put our egg replacement, which is our flax meal that's all set up now. And this is the order. I made the recipe in the order that I like to put the ingredients in. I think this is the order that they mix the best in. Now make sure you got that oven preheating to 350. All right, then we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Actually, here's another trick. I'm going to do the baking soda and baking powder first, because after your spoon gets wet from the vanilla, then you can't do the other things very well. So, teaspoon of baking soda. Teaspoon of baking powder. Teaspoon of sea salt. You know, I really like to make cookies from scratch. I don't, this really doesn't take too much time, and it tastes so much better than like store-bought cookies, or even those ones that you buy like in a block and chop off stuff. They're full of preservatives. So this is going to be all natural, and I'm using organic ingredients. All right, then a teaspoon of xanthan gum. This is something that might be a little bit hard to find, but if you do gluten-free baking, this is going to be a staple that you will need. So if there's a health section in your grocery store, most likely they will have that. Okay, then I'm going to do that liquid, the vanilla. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Looking good. Okay, and then just a little bit of water. I just found that it just needs just let's do like 4 teaspoons of water, and that seems to be just the right consistency. Okay. So then we're going to blend that, and it's going to be blended until it's a nice, really creamy texture. It's going to be really loud, so I don't know how long you're going to want to listen to that. Now, I don't have a nice blender. I keep on thinking I'm going to get me a nice blender. I just got this hand mixer, so that means I got to have one hand to turn the bowl and the other one to hold the mixer. So the reason that I like putting the ingredients in that order is now we're going to have that baking soda, the baking powder, and the salt. Everything's going to be all blended in real well. If you wait and put that in later with the dry ingredients, then you might end up with all of your salt in one spot. Not too tasty. Okay, so look at this texture. This is important, that it's nice and creamy like that. Okay, all right, I'm going to confess. I had to pause the camera to taste this. This is absolutely the most yummy thing. Every time I make cookies, I have to have a spoonful at this point before you put the flour in. So I don't know if I should turn you on to that guilty secret, because I know you'll be doing that too, but it is so good. Yum. All right, now we're gonna add the gluten-free flour. I'm gonna put about half of that in, mix it in. So this is 2 cups of gluten-free flour. And at some point in time when we start adding these dry ingredients, if you have a low quality hand mixer like mine, it may get to the point where you'll have to finish mixing by hand. This baby's about 20 years old though, so I shouldn't diss it too much. This hand mixer has been around a long time. I'm going to put the rest of that in there. One of the secrets to not burning up your motor is to not go too fast, not go to too high a gear whenever you've got these heavy ingredients like this. So we have that mixed in pretty well. Make sure to get all that flour off of the edges. And then we're going to add some gluten-free oats. We're going to do 3 cups of gluten-free oats. And once again, I'll do about half of it. Now this is a big batch of cookies. It's actually like a double batch of cookies. I actually keep on thinking that this thing will die and I'll get to buy me a nice new mixer, but so far it just keeps on going. And I'm going to put the last of that in. Ooh, these are going to be so good. My grandchildren love these. And if you have someone in your family that has a gluten allergy or celiac disease, then you know how expensive it is to buy gluten-free cookies. So this is actually going to save you quite a bit of money making them yourself. And plus they're just better than, you know, buying a prepackaged cookies that are kind of dried out. So 2 cups of vegan chocolate chips. Read the label, because a lot of them have milk in them. So if you're trying to avoid dairy, just read the label to make sure that they don't have milk listed as one of the ingredients. I know it may seem obvious, but I remember whenever I first gave up dairy, and it was like a realization, oh, milk chocolate, that has milk, yeah. So that's why I started having the dark chocolate. So we're just dropping this. I use just a regular teaspoon, you know, like a dinner spoon. I fill it pretty full, so, and then just kind of scoop it off. Leave some about 3 inches between the cookies. And if you come up with one like that one doesn't have enough chocolate chips, so I just kind of put a few on top because we like it nice and chocolatey. Okay, then we're going to put this in the oven and bake it for 10 to 12 minutes. I find that they really do need, in my oven, they really do need the 12 minutes on 350. And then after we take it out, we're going to leave them. Don't try to take them off immediately. And I'll show you that. So we're going to put them in the oven. So that cookie sheet is not greased. Believe me, with all that vegan butter and canola oil, we don't need any more grease on the cookie sheet. Timer just went off, 12 minutes. And even though they don't look done, I'm going to take them out because I know from experience that they're going to be fine. So they're at this point, and probably because they're gluten-free, they look like they're not done. And if you tried to take them off right now, they'd fall apart. So we're just going to sit them there till they cool a few minutes, and then we'll take them off. So now the cookies have cooled, and you'll see they are done, even though they didn't look like they were done earlier. So I'm going to come off of there. And then we'll just keep on repeating that. All right, I gotta have one. Maybe I'll have a glass of rice milk with this. That is very good, if I do say so myself. So give this a try. Gluten-free oatmeal cookies, yum.